Anderson. Also against revocation, does not want to speak, Julie Knapp. Supporting revocation and does want to speak is Brian Opalinsky. There we go. So the P and the Nap got in the way of it.
It's all right. Good evening, everyone. First time doing this. It's kind of nervous. But I've lived in Taylor for 15 years. I've lived in the Westgate subdivision that sits directly behind Christnet for 5 of those years. So I would like to share with some experiences that I have encountered in my local subdivision. So let's start off with the facts. Christnet is literally a block away from a school and across the street from a senior complex. I would say not the ideal solution for a place like that. I have witnessed on several occasions homeless people posted up in the grass of the school, laying, sleeping on the playground equipment, hiding a small tent community under the trees of the senior complex. During the summer months, my 3 kids go up to that school and play with their friends, and they have been approached or witnessed things that they should not have to witness at their age. It's not a one-off, though. It's reoccurring and has been this way. I know personally, my heart has been broken into in 3 times since Christnet has moved into our neighborhood with their new location. The only thing of value that was ever taken was blankets out of the back of my car. I understand, though, because most mornings there is always people sleeping on the public sidewalks or bus stops awaiting Christnet to open. How do you explain that to your kids when we drive past in the morning to take them to school and you see people sleeping on the sidewalks or bus stops up and down Eureka? This has been several occasions. I have seen patrons of Christnet being kicked out of our malls, being aggressive at our workers of our local gas stations and shops and restaurants. I have seen them stop people in Taco Bell drive-thru, asking people in the drive-thru for money. I even witnessed with my 2 eyes a woman screaming at everyone at the marathon on Eureka and removing all of her clothes to where she was just left in her underwear. The gas station said that this is a normal occurrence now that Christnet has moved in across the street. As far as our community goes, this is an eyesore for our city. And up and down Eureka has turned into an eyesore with trash that is littered all over, people sleeping all over the place. The minute you get on the I-75 or off, there is people there that are aggressive and asking for money. Even a simple grocery shopping trip to our local Myers has been cut short. I'm a firm believer there needs to be shelters to help the ongoing struggle of homelessness and mental health struggles in our country that we face. Christnet should see what it is being done to our community, though. I have made physical attempts trying to go into that building on 2 occasions.
Sir, if I could ask you to wrap up, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And at one point, they told me that my concern would be talked about in their next meeting. That was about 18 months ago. My second one, when I pulled in there, they told me that they did not have time to meet me at the door. I have reached and wanted to be that handshake with Christnet and our community, but I personally haven't given pushback. So if anything from this, I would love somebody from Christnet to meet me like in the lobby, and we could exchange phone numbers and see what we can get as a partnership.
Thank you.
Like that.
Careful, look out for you. Yeah.
The sound is not working on the website, so I don't know if it's
At all?
I tried to reach out to somebody else I thought might be watching it, but I don't know if it's a personal issue for the person or.
That's why I record.
Silent. Working, this one's working? Okay, I'll let them know. Check the computer. Thank you.
The next is against revocation, does not wish to speak, Tom Dickman. And brings us to page number 3. Support supports revocation, wishes to speak? And A. Shelton?
Good evening. You know, the last year and a half has been pretty nuts. I have witnessed a lot of things. I have witnessed somebody get dropped off at Christnet, walking down the street, masturbating at Vivian and Eureka, the next block over from Christnet. I have witnessed people walking down the sidewalk, holding out their genitalia, relieving themselves on school grounds while kids are either leaving from school or while they are out on the playground. I didn't invite anybody here to come sit on my porch and come see the nonsense with me. I am not against helping the people in need. I want to see Christnet succeed. But what I would like to see is it done in a more appropriate place. With all the school shootings in this country, all the violence against women, all the violence against children, this is our time, our neighborhood's time, to protect the school children that are in that school. Protect the elderly that are directly across the street who are also being affected. There's a lot of people here, there's a lot of people that are not here right now who signed petitions from our neighborhood who are afraid of backlash from their churches, from whatever, because of this. Like I said, I would love to see Christnet succeed. However, it needs to be in a more appropriate location. I have no ill will towards Christnet or the homeless that you guys support. It's just too bad that it's so close to a school. And I am the father of 4 young daughters. Why do I have to come outside my house, which is directly across the street from the playscape, seeing somebody light up their spoon? Why do I have to come out my house and wait for my wife and my kids to get home from work, you know, at 10 o'clock at night? They should be able to come out of their car and walk in the house. It's a sad situation. And like I said, no ill will towards anybody. Anybody can come to my house, sit on my porch, and we can watch all the nonsense. It is crazy. Thank you.
Thank you. Gentleman mentioned petitions. How many were submitted in support of revocation? And how many were verified by your office?
Roughly 120 signatures, I was able to verify roughly 100.
Just wanted that to be on the record.
Through the chair, I do have 2 people that have emailed in to regard you.
Okay, we've got another half a page that was submitted, so we'll be getting to the online form as well pretty soon. Yes,
Were the signatures for or against?
Madam Clerk?
They were for revocation of the license.
All right, next, who supports revocation and wishes to speak is B. Bathurst.
Good evening, Chairman, Council, Mr. Mayor. My name is Buffy, and I'm a nearly 30-year resident of the Mesquite Garden subdivision here in Taylor. I live in my home in here, and I've seen a lot of good in this city. I TriSnet is actively shaping our lives within the Westgate Gardens subdivision and the future of our city as a whole. They're changing the fabric of the neighborhood, and not in a good way. Make no mistake, this type of activity will eventually erode family legacies here in Taylor and create generational poverty in its wake. As you likely know, the vast majority of Americans' wealth is held within homeownership, and as residents flee crime, home values are going to plummet, the tax base will erode, and HUD Section 8 programs are going to take over, along with the slumlords that will acquire these dilapidated properties. It's a recipe for generational poverty, what we have set up